Friday, everybody.
Happy
It's
Friday.
been a minute. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
How you been?
I've been fantastic. It feels like it's been a long time,
It
but
does.
at the same time, not that long at all, kind of
It
thing.
really
Like we
hasn't. Yeah,
technically
yeah.
only
Like
skipped one Riff and Refine show, but you were not at the one before that.
hmm and it just
And
feels
then
like somehow a bajillion things happened in that like 2 week period. It's
exactly.
crazy.
Exactly. But I'm
Absolutely
glad to be
crazy.
back.
I I'm glad to be back too, man. I
Happy
mean,
Friday.
do
I
we
want
need
to
to
learn more.
address do we need to address what is currently around our faces at the moment?
Wow. Yeah, let's address it. Let's address it. I'm curious if the
I feel
chat
like
that's happening
we can't
is
just ignore
addressing
it.
it too. Yeah.
So, I am officially past conference season.
Nice.
I'm speaking at no more conferences. We will give an update
Nice.
on my latest one in a minute, but that means no more side projects for Will, no more busyness,
Woo.
which meant I had a little free space. Decided to experiment with what we could potentially be, and what you are
Nice.
seeing here is the future.
I like it.
Maybe we'll see.
Maybe.
We'll see how people like it.
We'll see. We'll see. The cool thing is then everyone, regardless of where you're chatting, like I want to learn more. That's your name. It's cool because then usually we have people chatting like on different places and they can't see their own
Mhm,
chat. So like
mhm.
I'm excited for that. But then I'm also excited for the thing that's like down here too. Like
Yes.
we're kind of willing it
It's
into
like
action. No
yes.
pun
It's like,
intended.
hey, it could be you. We need to put that there. We need to show like a little scrolling thing that's
It
like,
could
if you're
maybe
reading
you
this
question
could
mark.
be you.
Yeah. And the good thing is, if it is them, you get in on like the ground level
The literal
of
ground floor. It's
the potential. Just think of the potential.
I was actually chatting with friend of the pod. I was chatting with a few people here today. But friend of the pod, Jason Beggs, me and him were chatting, and he
Shout
had
out
this
Jason.
shout out to Jason. He had this funny story, and I was just laughing. Where it was just one of those stories where like um, you get hired for like the job you ask for, not
Mm,
the one you necessarily deserve. And I feel like that's
yeah.
like an ethos that like is like following along with like Aaron Francis's. Hey, it would be nice if. But what's true is, what's true is, if you want sponsors, you have to go ask for them.
Oh yeah.
You have to let them know you're accepting sponsors. So, what's up?
What's
Rob
up,
Hope in the
Rob?
house.
Let's
How you
go.
doing, man?
But yeah, I've learned that just in like my own like personal YouTube channel is like usually so like up until probably about like 4 months ago, I just the only few sponsor stuff that I had on my personal YouTube channel was
Mhm.
all inbound stuff. People were like emailing me, and usually then it's like the back and forth and figuring things out, stuff like that.
Right, right.
But then like within the last like 4 months, I've just been like, oh, like, hey, I really like this, or hey, my channel is like doing pretty well, and for
Right,
like a
right.
cheap price, you can get in front of this many people. And so it's crazy how much happens when you can just do things, you know?
Yes. So we have now put it into existence. We can't have an empty sponsor bar for
Yeah.
too long. So we should get on that train, and pull in some sponsors, and we should also pull in um, Laravel Dad, Business Dad, Ian,
Yes.
and we can talk about how to handle that money. So
Yeah. Doing the right thing the right way, I guess it should be.
exactly how to,
So
how
that
to
way,
handle it responsibly and in a way that will not get our wrists slapped by the government.
yeah, I don't want to be like, oh, hey, we make pennies, but all of a sudden we owe 10
Yeah,
times more than what we
exactly.
have
Wait,
actually
we're
made.
supposed to do what quarterly? Yes,
Awesome. Hey,
1,000,000%.
on air,
All right,
Mark.
what have you been up to,
Glad to
Josh?
see you. Yeah. This past week, and we'll just say 2 weeks. The past 2 weeks have been absolutely crazy. So the first thing that I was up to was I launched Laravel Learn through.
This is that the like boot camp series, like they're kind of like introduction.
Yep. So this is Laravel Learn.
That graphic.
And so it was basically the way that you kind of think about it is like the there used to be a boot camp that used to be on the Laravel.com website.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of those things that it kind of got out to date because of the starter kits. And so instead of replacing it, we replaced it with a video and written course for both like getting started with Laravel. So it's 13 episodes, a total of 2 looks like that's incorrect over there, but it's a total of 2 hours for 13 lessons. And then Christoph at the Laravel team also did a PHP fundamentals, which is 71 minutes.
There's something about like a little subtle glow.
Ooh.
Like having a graphic with like a little glow and those like little details of the grid underlying it.
Yeah. Shout out to Tilly on the design team who helped create this. But yeah, it was so much fun building the course, and then I got to very, very minimally help out with both Leah and Chris on like the actual website of this, of what does it look like? You know, it's for the actual, we have video, we have course lesson, we have a transcript that's searchable for like the whole lesson itself.
It's a real deal.
You can see the course demo, which again, shout out to designers to making, oh, I can't see that.
Screen.
But that's okay.
No worries.
So
what's
the course demo?
The URL?
The URL is chirper.laravel.cloud.
Ooh, love dog fooding.
Hey, it's a Cody Friday. I just finished relaxing, watching one of your videos, says the Oasis. When I realized you're live, I was like, what? Well, yeah, glad to.
I was like, we got to address this.
There you go. We're live
in chat right now.
But yeah, it was so fun building this. And then I think the cooler part was like I learned quickly what it takes to make a course well. So like I did a 3.5 hour video before.
Right.
Which I called a course, but it was more of like a live stream, very minimally edited, only when like I had like 5-minute plus pauses kind of thing. I did a Laracast course, which I learned quickly how it's rough with that to make really well. And so I feel like this is probably the best course that I've done to date. I've learned that I need to usually do it all in one sitting. Helps with me.
Okay.
With like all videos in one sitting and then edit and then tweak and then reshoot. It also helps if you have the code written first and then you're rewriting the code, and you can tweak the written part as you record the lesson. Okay. There were so many things I'm like, oh, this actually doesn't make sense the way I initially like wrote the code.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So then as I'm recording, I'm like, let's actually fix this. And then it takes shape kind of thing. So,
gotcha.
A lot of stuff. And then
man, there's nothing better than just like doing something for like the 40th time and still being able to like fine tune it even more.
Oh yeah.
Man, I love that kind of stuff. All right, chat.
Speaking of,
I just want to throw this out here. It's been a minute. I think you've like, I know I've been gone for a bit, but also I feel like I haven't seen you since Laracon, Mr. Back with Snacks. Great to have you back.
Snacks.
I have actually not finished the cottage. It's like 95% of the way there. We're so close now, chat. We're so close. I have to do like, you saw the front part. The roof is done on the front. The roof is not done in the back. So I've got to finish the roof in the back. And then appreciate it, Kyle. Yeah, we're trying to step up our game a little bit. You might notice that the sponsor bar is empty. So that's just us, like putting it into the universe that we're ready for this. We're ready for sponsors.
Yeah. We're putting it. We're putting it out there. We are willing it.
The gift that keeps on giving. the burnt down garage.
And then what's good, Riley the designer? Glad to have you here.
Riley is dope. Riley is a sick designer. And he lives in, I think he lives in Tennessee. So here in the South with me, sponsored by Squarespace. You know, I never say no to money, but I might say no to Squarespace.
This is quick on-air mark. Real question: does bootcamp.laravel.com redirect to learn.laravel.com? It does. I made sure of that because I knew the people were probably going to be looking for it.
Ooh, a Josh question, a Josh Siri original. Like that was your idea. Love that.
Not really, but I helped with pointing it out, kind of thing.
Well,
but yeah,
exactly.
outside of
like you caught it, you didn't do it, but
Yeah.
you were the one who was like, "Hey, we need to think about this detail."
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, outside of Learn, then it's like we're kind of on to the next thing, kind of thing. So we have Laravel Forge launching, and so
Mhm.
like it's been a little bit of that. And then personally, like
Always
it's been
busy in
cool.
Laravel land.
And I'll talk about this a little bit later on, but like I've been another thing that's happened like this past week is I've just been every morning like recording a quick 8-minute to 10-minute
Yes.
little
Is it still,
podcast
you
episode.
still feel great about it
Yeah,
now that you've
I
been
still
doing it
feel
for
great.
long enough? You feel still
It's
got
been-
momentum with it?
I've done 26 of them now.
Dang,
Crazy.
it is crazy how a daily thing adds up like that.
It's like, oh yeah, I have 26 like 26 what is it? 26 times 10. So I have like 260 minutes of like
Mhm.
podcasts.
All right,
That's crazy.
all right.
What about you?
We have a lot. We have a lot
Yeah.
to cover.
Go
However,
for it.
it's riff and refine. We don't always handle the schedule, you know, like we don't always get to what we're saying. And something you just said has me thinking with something that came out this week. So ChatGPT just announced Pulse. Did you see that?
Ooh, I saw that. Yeah. I
Okay,
haven't
so
gotten to
Chat-
play around with it, but
I've not either, but Chat, if you don't know, ChatGPT launched Pulse, which is like this feature that like it proactively surfaces things for you based on your history inside of your ChatGPT usage. And the fact that you're doing this like daily journaling is, I guess, one way to think about it, but you're
yeah.
doing like daily podcast journal type thing. And like you're going to have so much data over a long period of time. Can you imagine having that in like the transcripts in ChatGPT for it to like pulse, like to use the pulse on that, and for it to be like proactively checking in on like things that you are journaling about every day?
I've kept up to date. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause like that's like the hard part with like I use Notion and I just throw like it's the garbage bin is what it is. It's like I need this out of my head. I need to put it somewhere. And then like there's no chance I'm coming back to check on like 90% of these things. And it feels like part of it's like, yeah, well, like I don't necessarily, if it didn't come back up, then it wasn't worth coming back up. But part of me is also just like curious, like what would it be like to have that running when it's something that like you're actively updating and keeping it up to date on?
Yeah.
It just sounds,
because it sounds like they're trying to like be the, hey, this is your scratch pad kind of thing of like not just answering questions,
right? Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. More of like a hey, dump everything, brain dump everything into us and like do it. Because really like most of like similar to you, I use Notion, but I use Reflect Notes. And like the search is good and it's an AI search. Like I can find things if I want to, but then I have to like rethink about things too. Like, and then it's easy to find it when I have it. But like it is interesting. Like maybe I should start just like have a process of like, okay, I get the transcript after I upload the transistor and then I put it into ChatGPT. Be like, hey, here was my thoughts for the morning. That's it. Don't even continue the conversation. Just have it be saved into the World Wide Web.
It'd be interesting to see how effective that Pulse feature is. All right.
Yeah.
Another one off track, but we care about you in chat. We love having y'all here. You're part of the show. So we have things we want to talk about. However, I think we could maybe cover this quickly. Like we don't have to make this a whole segment kind of thing. But maybe we can just address it for a second.
Yeah, I'll say something and you can say something because you got a lot on your plate too.
we both are what you call
Overachievers.
overachievers. And by achieving, there needs to be another term for like people who
Little
like
star.
there's not like we don't actually necessarily achieve it, but we like overcommitters. There we go.
Overdoers.
Overdoers.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for me, the thing that I have learned is that, and we kind of talked about this a little bit, but like you kind of, something else has to give. So that I think there's like twofold. So one thing, something else has to give. And usually like for me, that was my playtime. Like I used to play so many video games.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to play chess a lot. And like I think those are yeah, online chess. I sucked at it.
Little chess buddy that y'all would just like. I feel like it'd be so neat, like in the park. I've always like thought it was so neat, the old fellas in the park playing chess.
Oh yeah,
just chat.
100%. So I think like I still have time with friends. I still have time with family, but instead of me watching, usually I watch 1 to 1.5 TV shows with my wife every night, and that is the only TV. Sometimes I'll take a little bit extra like out of my own time, but once she goes to bed, once we watch like 1.5, it's like 9:30 my time. I usually get things done from 9:30 to like 2 a.m, and that's my dedicated time. And I don't play. Usually I don't like watch too much stuff, maybe like a little bit of YouTube, but usually it's that is my dedicated time.
Right? 2 is like the max.
Oh yeah. Usually.
What's the average? Because that sounds crazy, dude. You've got to be exhausted.
The average number of sleep I get?
Yeah, like what's the average like time that like what is your usual rough cutoff every night? Because it can't be 2 a.m. every night. I mean, Taco Bell it's open late night, but
it's close. I would say the average is probably between 12 to 2. Okay. The only days I don't
in the morning.
I don't sleep. I sleep until probably like 7:30 to 8. Like that would be my sleeping
that
in.
Bounces it back out just a little bit.
Yeah. So like my wife is great, and she like usually the kids are up at 6:30, 7. I at least get like another hour.
That's why I was like, I know you have small children. Those kiddos are not letting you sleep in unless
not until like 9 a.m. or whatever. No. But yeah, so I've just learned that how I balance things has to be done with me just giving up a bunch of stuff. And like I think it's 100%. Made it for the better. I still wish I didn't give up stuff though.
Listen, I'm right there with you. So I don't have much to change other than what I would say is you have to like learn how to prioritize your goals. Because like you don't have time for everything. And especially if your like full-time job takes like one of the great things that I love about like full-time remote work is that because you're cutting off a commute, and generally speaking, I cut off like a lunchtime too. Like I'm not going out taking like an hour-long lunch most days kind of thing. So like if you think about an actual work day in office, it is not that many hours because like you have to travel there, you have to travel back, you have your lunch break, you have like all these meetings where you're like stepping away from your desk, going somewhere. Like if you think about the actual amount of work, you can condense your day and you can still get the exact same amount of work done in less time. So like I'm able to like ruthlessly like prioritize work stuff to where I just like knock things out to where I have free time within my like work hours to try and push the ball forward on like whatever my other priority is. And like you really only have like one priority that you can push a day. And then like if things are getting down to the wire, I will a lot of times work late nights as well. Like shout out to our wives who are like early sleepers, because like man, if my wife was awake as late as I would normally be awake,
yeah,
like,
I wouldn't get
anything done because I would just want to be spending time with her. But like the second she's asleep, I'm like, no guilt, I'm out of here. Like we can go do this. And then she's fine because she's like snoozing.
And the way you said it like reminded me too is like I think usually for how both Will and myself have been able to like get stuff done, even though we have families, lives, busy, like multiple jobs usually. Like I think most people, and I was like this, especially from the start, is like, oh, if I have that free time and then I'm like spending, half of it just figuring out what I'm going to do, or like half of it
Yes.
just
Yep.
like
Yep. Yep.
messing around with things that didn't like result in the what I wanted from that. And so I've learned quickly of like, okay, like as soon as like my wife goes to sleep, I am recording 3 videos and I know exactly what I'm going to
Yes. Yep.
record,
Yep.
and I'm
It's
not
like a
messing around.
don't get to your desk. Like if I'm at my desk, it's because I already know why I'm sitting there to like what I'm sitting there to do.
Yeah.
Um, because it's like, okay, like if I don't know what I'm gonna do right now, then I'm not gonna sit at my desk and futz around. Like I'm gonna go like fold some laundry, or I'm gonna go do the dishes, or I'm gonna go like do some yard work outside because I'm at home. And like my brain can like chew through like, well, what is the priority? What is the focus? What do I need to do? How do I need to do
Yeah.
it? All while I'm still getting other things done so that I
Yeah.
don't then feel like this pressure to like, oh man, like I didn't get this done. Like, no, like you can mix and match when you work from home, which is super nice.
Exactly.
Oh, dude, I feel okay. So this is hilarious.
I'm
So
sorry,
like
Kyle.
she can't sleep unless I'm in the room, and if I'm in the room, I can't be making noise. Okay, so this is very much true. Allie calls it clicky clacking. Um, I'm not allowed if she's awake and like something's a super priority, then like sometimes I will like try to like get it done because like I don't want to be up really late, and I'll work on it while she's watching like a show that she wants. But the second that Allie decides, like, I'm done watching this, I'm going to bed. If I'm
Yeah.
not done with my thing, I better be done or I better be out because there is no clicky clacking when she's trying to sleep. Oh, Kyle, same. Allie's a kindergarten teacher. Very early bedtime.
And then my wife was a teacher, so there you go.
Fantastic. Let me tell you, this is the secret. This is the hack to being somebody who can do a lot. Is being married to a teacher who goes to bed so early.
So early. And is okay, unlike Kyle's, and is okay with like either you leaving or doing stuff somehow.
Yeah.
I will say I have learned the times when my wife is like, I prefer you like be in here kind of thing. It's
I agree
like there's so much you can do on your phone now too. Like I have been able to do like with like even Claude Code kind of thing on my phone has been fun.
Yes, same. That is like Notion, that kind of thing where I'm talking about like when I'm at my desk, it's because I'm getting things done. I've now started to be able to like, I can't tell you how many commits I've made on GitHub Mobile, for like small things like, or like Cursor has like a mobile version where you can kind of like request some things. I don't like do a ton of the actual like, work stuff, but I do a ton of planning,
small stuff,
scripting, like all that, like to where it's like if I'm at my desk, it's because I'm doing something that can only be done at my desk, and I'm like busting a move on it for sure. The hack is waking up early as her and then doing it then.
I can't
do that. Not sorry, Kyle.
Sorry. Good for you, Kyle.
Also, yes, Derek. It is new today, so it is new to me too. I did it this week.
New show. Kind of.
New show. Maybe some new sponsors. Fingers crossed.
All right, Will. Enough riffing. What'd you do this past week?
To what I did this last week. All right. So, like a bajillion things. Also, is that purple? What are you drinking? It looks like a potion.
It is a mango dragon fruit lemonade refresher from Starbucks.
Oh my goodness. That is wild.
It is a potion.
That thing looked like straight like alchemy right there. All right. So this last week, pinkety drinkety. That's funny. So last week, man. Okay, so I thought we're gonna throw my screen up here for a second.
Do it.
Guys, I thought that this was going to be is that
nope. Do we not have it up? Let's see.
Oh no. I might not be able to share.
It was doing.
I don't know. Can we see it now? All right. We might not be off it. We're just gonna do it this way so we can.
All right. Let's do it this way.
All right. Here we go. All right. Maybe if we switch to it now. Boom. There we go.
There you go.
I thought this was gonna be my update. For what I did last week. I finally published this. If you go to wking.dev, which also I want to try this real quick. Y'all bear with me. our thing, the platform that we use, StreamYard, just added a new feature. And I want to test it out real quick. It is I just want to see like where it shows up.
Where it throws it up.
Yes. Okay.
Ooh.
So I wonder if we can move it around. No, we definitely can't move it around. Okay, so it's just covering Josh's face.
There we go.
They have this feature called QR codes now, which is cool. So like if you scan it, if we want to put a link up instead of having to try to like spam a non-clickable link into chat, it makes like this QR code that people can scan now, which is cool. But wking.dev/soundfall. I thought this was gonna be my update. I finally got it into a state where like people can come and play it.
Nice. I was playing it the other day.
Yeah, so if you want to do this, you can go on the website and you can check it out and you can play with it. There have been like 53, I think, dungeon levels made. This one, the very first one, has been played like 86 times, which is kind of cool.
That's crazy.
So I thought this was gonna be like my big update. But it's in fact not my biggest update.
One of your big updates.
So this is this is my big update, which happened like yesterday. So I was exercising this week and I didn't have a podcast. Oh yes, definitely comment. If anybody, shout out to chat. If y'all want to use comment and you don't have an invite code, I have invite codes. So hit me up.
I need to grab one of those.
X and I'll give you one. I got you, man. Got you, fam. So I threw this. I was exercising. I didn't have a podcast to listen to, and so I just raw dogged a workout.
Okay.
And I just was thinking through some like recent conversations that I had, and I like realized like there's not really a good course for just the straight fundamentals of design. And so I just like threw this thing out there, which was like, I'm becoming more and more convinced that like I need to make a course on like literally design fundamentals. And it got a lot of views, a lot of looks, a lot of people who are like, take my money kind of situation here. So I thought, well, let me old Joel Hooks, the master of courses, was like, well, step 0 is make a newsletter sign up and see how many people would actually be interested in taking the course.
Yeah.
Start there. And then if it gets enough traction that you think you're going to do it, hit me up. So I threw this up. And I've had over 50 newsletter signups, which
I love it.
Like it's definitely like, it's not like huge in terms of like, that's not like a ton of people. If like 50 people bought the course, that'd be cool, but it's not like a life-changing course of any kind. But it's like literally made it in one day, came up with it in one day.
But then you also have to think of like your current reach, where you put it out. So you put it on Twitter. It was just one post, and then you also like you only have 2,500 or something followers or whatever. So like 50 from that. That's pretty good odds.
That's not bad. That's not bad. That's not bad. So I was like, I think I might.
In like 2 days.
Right. And I was like, you know, this is what I think, like, this is something I've always struggled with. Like, oh, I'd love to do a course. I love helping people, teach people. My whole, like the first 7 years of my career was working at like a developer education platform kind of thing. So like, I like it. I'm familiar with it. I just have never had something where I've been like, man, I actually want to write a course on this, because that sounds, it's painful. From everyone that I've heard, it's like making a course is painful. So I was like, it needs to be something that I actually want to do myself. And I was like, it has been so long since I have covered the fundamentals myself and I didn't really dig that deep into them the first time. You know, like I learned them. I had to do like, I went through design school, but it's like, I've never like revisited them. And I think there could be like a lot of value for myself personally, trying to like, as they say, like you learn more from trying to teach something. So I think it would be valuable, and I'm thinking I might take up old Joel on his offer and might have a chat and see what we can do with this thing.
There you go.
So that's my update.
Now, Now you just need to pin that post. I'll say it the right way. Pin that post on your
Okay,
X.
so I thought about that. I took a walk today, and I was like, I'm a raw dog this one too. No music, no nothing. And I was just like, that same thing popped in my head, which is like, I need to pin this LOL the Nuno meme.
Oh, did Nuno raid us? Hey,
I
thanks,
don't know.
Nuno.
Oh wait,
I
did
appreciate
he?
it.
Oh, he did.
PHP,
That's
Nuno
awesome.
Maduro. There you go. Hey, Nuno, thanks so much for the raid.
Welcome,
everyone.
everybody.
This is not a super PHP stream, but
It's not. It's just about
we are chatting
creativity.
about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we sure are. And I was like, like if I'm gonna do this, then I need to have like a good pinned tweet. So I was just thinking about, like, I don't think what I tweeted is a good pinned tweet for it.
Yeah.
So
you can put it up.
Not this episode, but like next episode, we should riff on like what a good pinned tweet start like getting people to like sign into, like, to buy into, like, oh, I need to sign up for this newsletter.
What about everyone who just joined in the chat? What would be your take of a good, and everyone who's already been in the chat, what would be a take of a good pinned tweet? If you saw, like, if you went to someone's profile, you saw a pinned tweet that was like, hey, sign up for this newsletter about something that you are interested in, what would that consist of? Is it just a link? Is it just a picture?
Well, yeah, exactly. Like, would you want like some kind of video? Would you want like media? This is specifically for like a design, fundamentals of design course. Like, it's like, you got to have something that sounds not like it's selling you almost.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like
more of like a curiosity hook.
Exactly. Yeah. Or like, and like part of like I think made the pin tweet work, which is something that Aaron posted in the replies about, which is like, if you joke about outcomes you want, you might get them. Which is like, if you're just joking about it, you're not trying to be super serious, then people, like, it's almost like it feels more comfortable for people to be like, oh, this is cool, instead of like, oh man, he's trying to sell me. So
yeah,
I feel like that would be like part of it. It needs to feel casual.
We can put this down at the sponsor one. Like, this is Nuno Maduro signed off on this. Yeah, there you
go. But yeah, that's what I've been up to. That is what I've been up to.
Fantastic.
One last very important update. Yeah. Shout out to Allison King, my wife, because today is her birthday, and she only ever pops in at the most inconvenient times on the show, and then as like, hey, why were you talking about me? So maybe this will be the time when she pops in, and I'm just saying, happy birthday. I love you, babe.
Happy birthday, Allison.
Happy birthday.
I've never gotten to meet with you yet, but happy birthday.
we will find it. I've been trying to convince her to come to a Laracon. I was like, hey, people's wives actually come to this. You should come too.
For the first Riff and Refine hackathon. There you go.
That would be perfect. We'll have it in Montgomery, Alabama, so she doesn't have to travel. All right.
I'll go. All right.
Hit me with something, man.
Sweet. So should we do should we do one of my topics, or should we do one of yours?
Let's do one of yours. B-roll? Let's do one of yours. I see this thing called Build It or Tweak It.
Yeah, this is kind of like a B-roll update.
Okay.
But it's a half topic, so I guess I kind of have two topics today. Well, one topic, one length from like this past week was Laravel Learn. Shout out to Laravel Learn again. If you're just joining the chat, Laravel Learn's launched. I love it. It was fun to be able to build a course. But for like build it or tweak it, I've been thinking about this thing that I want to riff on for a little bit.
Okay.
I actually just did like a little, whatever you want to call my good morning episodes on a journal, an audio journal. I recently just did an audio journal about when do you get to the point where you actually like build something yourself versus when do you like take something that someone else has already built, tweak it, modify it, use something open source and like vibe code something.
Sure.
And it's mostly because we had I texted you earlier this morning and I was like, StreamYard, which was the platform that we use for streaming. It's great. Everything that we usually need it for, it's great. But the
second you start hitting pro territory, I would say.
Yeah. Second you start hitting pro territory.
Do this in a professional way.
Yep. The second you want that customization that usually you kind of have one or two things. And as developers, we usually take the second path. Usually you pay to have the platform change and add features for you.
Right.
I've been working at companies who that's what they do.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
you just
enterprise customers.
Enterprise customers. Or you build it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And so we don't have any money as a show.
We may in fact have negative money. I am unsure.
We have been blowing money on this platform. Now, the platform that we use, StreamYard, we don't have any say of like making them do features like changing what this chat looks like in the bottom right, which is fine, but like it'd be nice if we could adjust it.
Yeah. Okay. Same. Yeah. Like being tell me if this is the correct link. I'm throwing it out. Somebody asked, what is the link to Laravel Learn?
I think that works. It's technically laravel.com/learn, but I think learn.laravel.com also redirects too.
Perfect.
So you're good.
Perfect. All right.
I love it. So my riff for you,
being a designer, it's like, man, I want as
you don't use someone else's designs.
This is not even the first design. Like this is what we had to like adapt literally right before the show because we have no control over this chat down here in the bottom. What is that? Bottom right?
Bottom right, yeah.
We don't have control over that on this platform. And like I had this idea of like, oh, it'll go here and you know, the messages will be bigger and look like they fit inside the box from like edge to edge, etc. Kind of thing. But you can't,
it's like
can't control it. You can't control it.
It's like one of those things where you as a designer, probably you're never going to be like, oh, let me like buy this design and then I'll tweak it.
Mm-hmm.
But as a developer, it's almost like frowned upon if you try to always build something yourself. So I'm thinking of like, where's that divide, first of all? And then the second thing I want to kind of like riff on is like, what happens if I want to learn something?
Mm-hmm.
And so the process is like, I'm building this out so that I can learn it. Like, what if I wanted to learn how a streaming platform works and I wanted to rebuild Twitch?
There are so many like layers to this kind of thing. So it's like, if you're in a business, there are many like cases where you might want to outsource versus building your own.
Yeah.
And that is changing. So with the addition of AI into the world, there is like much less of like a lift required to be able to build certain features from scratch now than there were before. So like a lot of times you'd be like, oh, well, let me just bring in this NPM package. And like the way I would think about this is like people aren't necessarily rebuilding authentication and like SSO and all of that. Like, oh, I have AI, so I'll just build this whole authentication system myself instead of using like WorkOS or Clerk or something. Like there are still values to like an entire ecosystem of a product kind of thing. But for things where it's like, oh yeah, like no, I would have pulled in like a small npm package that did this thing versus write it myself, because like otherwise I'd have to like think of every edge case and maintain all of this blah 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 blah. I think AI changes that dynamic a lot to where like you need a lot fewer external dependencies as a business. Now, personally speaking, I think we are entering what I would call the age of personal software. Which is like, it is no longer, you no longer have to make as many trade-offs for people who decided to make a product for a lot of people.
Okay.
I think that like products are good because like they could build things you couldn't, and like that was an okay trade-off when you couldn't get the thing you wanted, because it was like, well, I can't do this by myself.
Yeah.
Any amount of time that would be worth it. But I think that dynamic changes a lot too and the question is like, at what level of complexity, like streaming, but you don't know, like the nice thing about like AI too is like, you can find out very quickly, right? Yeah. You could find out extremely quickly if it will be feasible to build it yourself. So in my opinion, I think that even if you're trying to decide if you build or buy, it is almost worth it every single time to try and build a proof of concept on your own for almost everything, because even if you're like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
What you at least know, like you now know more about the domain. You now know about like what's hard about it, and like you're a lot more understanding and grateful for like the products that you do end up using. Where you're like,
Yeah.
dang, like shout out to them, like this was hard. And I think a lot of times products don't actually have moats. The only moat that they have is the person decided to do it. So it like will quickly you'll quickly identify things that's like the moat here is that they've just been doing it for a really long time versus, oh no, this is actually very technically complex and hard to do. And
Yeah.
like the nice thing about like you don't have to build the whole platform.
Oh,
You
yeah.
just like that's why it's personal software. You build only
Build
what
it for what you need. Yeah.
and so like you can cut crazy amounts of scope when you take things on for yourself. So
And I
that's
think
my
another,
thought on it.
yeah, I think another thing like is usually as developers, we probably like opt for, hey, I'm gonna just build this myself before even like trying out the other options in a lot of ways. It's like, oh, like someone else has done it. This is so easy. I know how to build this. Simon, great to see you. Personal software becomes the moat. No one can solve my problem better than me.
This is true.
Good moat.
If you can build it,
If
that
you can
is
build it.
the moat is that like I can build it myself. Why would I ever use anything else?
Yeah.
But
And I think
there are
like
definitely cases where there are things that like there's no chance I could build it.
oh yeah, 100%.
Or
There's
no
a lot.
chance I could build it without dedicating an entire year or like
Yeah.
way too long of a timeline for it to be like worth it to me.
Yeah. And the only reason I'm seriously considering this, and I think like falls along my lines of what I think of when I should use personal software versus just buying it, is I have tried every single option. The do-it-yourself option of like using, so like getting super technical, there's like a Ninja, what's it called? Ninja, VDO.Ninja. Great free platform that basically allows users to like you can upload your camera to it, for example. Like you can stream your camera, and then I can take that URL and put it into OBS. So it's like I have you, Will, for example, in my OBS, and I'm streaming that. It's great. But let's say you want someone that is not super technical, or you're just kind of confined to your own OBS. If I'm not there, then Will, and you want to do it, you're like, oh, I have to set up my OBS now to do all this.
Yep. And then like every guest has to have OBS or like has to have some sort of like stream, or they just use the service.
They just use the service, which is fine. But
cool.
then there's a whole, okay, then it's multi-streaming.
Dependency on OBS.
Yep, dependency on OBS. Then there's whole multi-streaming aspect of like setting up a LinkedIn stream,
yeah,
YouTube stream. That
so
I have done it by hand. It's
miserable,
tiring.
Yeah.
To do it every week. Like the nice thing about StreamYard is you just say, hey, this is what I want, and it probably hits their APIs and just creates a new stream for you. You don't have to think about it.
Yep.
But I think the only reason I'm considering it is because I know how difficult it is. And two, I also know where like the options fail.
Right. Like this is like a classic case of like you are a power user.
Yep.
Who understands like the market itself and can actually build the solution that solves a very common use case for a very specific market. You know, like anyone who is doing live streaming with guests and wants to like go to multiple platforms. And have like, and the nice thing about this is like the platforms that exist are great. Before the pro level. So it's like you really would be able to like set the base of like, okay, if you're interested in this tool at all, it's because you're already investing into this as a business, as a thing. So like you can go ahead and charge a significant amount up front because like the reason people are coming to you is because like I need this because I'm taking this very seriously. It's very true. That's a good point. I would love to see it. That's why when you texted me this morning to say, I was like, sounds like somebody needs to try to build it.
But then there's the flip side. the flip side is one, even if I build it just for me and I don't even like sell it or do anything.
Right.
Okay. One, yes, I learned something. Two, it's probably going to get put to use. But I'm always one of those people that, like, as soon as I start doing something, I see,
The dollar signs.
yeah, I want to always see, at least keep in mind monetary benefits.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here's what I would then say to you, which is like, here's the monetary benefit for pursuing this.
Yeah.
That doesn't turn into a distraction. You, my friend, are in the content game.
Yeah.
You're in the content game here. You're in the content game on YouTube. You have a channel. Your channel is about learning and creating. And there, like, I feel like there is like nothing better than having a series, like a long-term thing to check back in on. Like, you do these really great videos of like, hey, I tried these things, here's my thought on them, or like, hey, let's dig into this topic, and then like you're on to like the next one. This would be like a really interesting way to pull in like a through line for like reasons for people to come back. Kind of like a show, you know, like, yes, we do this weekly, this is like our show thing. What would be nice is if there's like a like the YouTube channels that I've watched more than others are when I'm like, oh, I want to see how the progress on this thing is going.
Interesting.
Like, that's the only time I'll like go to their channel.
Yeah.
There are plenty of times where it's like, oh, this thing just popped up.
This pops up, you watch it.
And this one's interesting. But there are also plenty of times where I see the videos from the person and I'm like, okay, nah, like not interested in that one this time.
Yeah.
So like it would be great fodder for like content. Great fodder for like sponsors. Like, hey, I'm building this whole thing. Who would be a good sponsor for like trying to tackle this like very technically complex problem?
Yeah.
Probably Claude, you know, like Cursor, like someone who sponsors, who like wants to like have someone who's building a real thing with their tool. Like people would love to see that. Like,
yeah,
I want somebody who's like actively creating with my tool, who is also good at distribution and like being on camera talking about said thing. So
yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point. I'm good. I'm gonna.
You don't have to worry about like, oh man, like what's the business model? What's the
yeah?
Like, no, you're just like have some fun with
content. It's all content.
Don't worry if things take longer. Like you're not in a rush to launch the thing. Like the journey is part of the journey is how you make money, not the end result. And then if you happen to get to a really great end result that you're extremely happy with, like then like you can see what you want to do with it from there. But like you can at least like have a path for like validating the build to begin with.
Yeah,
because like you do have a lot of AI related things on your channel. I would assume you'd want to use AI with this.
Oh yeah,
lots of cool stuff.
That's a good point. It's a good point. A course on showing how to create stream software. I'll figure it out first, and then maybe.
This is something else too that I just will riff one more thing on this, which is there is like a whole host of topics that for AI it was very much a like, oh, like you only learn that technology if you're doing this one thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Like you only learn streaming technology if you're creating a streaming platform.
Interesting. Okay.
Because streaming is hard, like video is hard.
Yeah, and you're never gonna do it, right? You're never gonna be like,
right. But like,
unless you work for Twitch.
Not hard. Yeah, like what if it's not hard? Like what if what if because of AI you dive into there and like you're like, yes, here are some hard problems, and like here are like some solutions that I found to it. Yeah. But here are like a whole host of like other ways that you can use streaming that's not hard, and like you have this way of showing people. There's this quote, I don't have it. I put it in like something to talk about in the future, but it kind of fits in right here where there's this skater. And he did this video interview where he just says like, I wanted to just open the door for other skaters to walk through it. Like I wasn't going to take this any further, but because I showed people it could be done, that gave them the permission to try and pick that up and run even further with it. And so like there's this whole like idea of like, as somebody who's like doing a channel like yours, if you could just open the door for people to show them like, hey,
Yeah.
here's how you can actually work with streaming. It's not that hard. Like these parts of it are not hard. Then people can like, there are so many like creative ideas people might have when they stop, like when they go past the wall of like, well, streaming's hard. Okay, well, like
Yeah.
what if it's not?
Mm.
What ideas would you have to do with streaming? You know, like who knows? Who knows what
Yeah.
people would come up with? Like what cool products, what cool like interactions people might just like throw streaming into
That's a
when
good
they
point.
get over the hump of like, oh, that's something I can't do.
Yeah. It's a good point.
Just thinking out loud.
Maybe I'll have an update next week.
Maybe you will. All right.
P2P stream for cowork space. There you go. You're already coming up with ideas. This is why we have a show.
Boom. Riff and refine. Thank you, chat. Always open with ideas that you have. We love that kind of stuff.
All right. Well, tell me about a con.
Oh, all right. Update. Last conference of the year, ValioCon. I'm gonna keep this tight, and say just like my highlights of it. So I spoke at this conference called ValioCon. It was a creative conference versus like a technical one, and I've only been going to technical ones for a while.
Okay.
As part of my career, because it was like, oh, I am a designer, I need to be more technical and figure that part out. So I'd go to technical conferences because I thought that's what I wanted to get better at.
Yeah.
And like this last year and a half, it's been like this, oh, well, like I want to go back to my design roots a little bit more. And so when I saw this conference, I was like, man, it'd be awesome if I could speak at it. So I just messaged the guy who was running the conference and was like, hey, I have this idea. You may be like, who are you? But here it is. And he said, like, that sounds dope. Come speak.
Yeah.
So I went, and it was awesome. His name's Drew Wilson. And it was the most fun at a conference that I think I've like had as a like just in general. Like Laracon was like super fun, but I was like super stressed.
Yeah.
As we talked about in that one episode. This one, I like learned my lesson from that and stressed a lot less about my talk. And so like I had a ton of fun because also like everyone there thought like I did. Just like different, you know, like at a technical conference, like everybody's like super technical. They care about like the code and all of that kind of stuff. And so like I'm more of a code is a means to an end to build the things that I want to create. And there are definitely people in the Laravel community, you know, you definitely are in that. Like Caleb is in that, bunch of great people. But like as a general whole, like it's a very technical group. Group. And so it was really nice being in like a room full of like creative people. And it was just like, man, I just forgot that that's like where I came from. So it just like felt like this like coming home party almost. Like like this feels nice. And got to see the homie Rob Hope in person.
There you go. Shout out Rob.
Rob Hope is a good time. He is so fun. Very, very South African.
Second Riff and Refine guest ever.
Yes. And he was so cool in person. And then Dan Hollick was there as well.
Awesome.
Dan Hollick.
Yeah.
He's also South African, and him and Rob Hope.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So like I got like plugged in with them.
Small world.
And it was just like, yeah, it was like super small world. And then there was somebody else who's from South Africa. And then I just ended up like hanging out with like the South African crew. And I was like, this is dope. Like
next year moving to South Africa.
That next thing I know, we're moving to Cape Town. But no, it was a super fun conference, super great people. And there is this two highlights that I want to bring up about the conference. One is there is huge alpha for methodical AI use, is the way I would phrase it.
Alpha. What do you mean by that? What's huge alpha?
Huge alpha. Like there is a huge gap between people who use AI and people who use AI well, is what I discovered.
Do you think that our developer bubble generally forces us to think everyone uses AI in the same way most developers do?
Yeah, I would say yes. And I also think that it's just like, even within developers, I don't think
Oh yeah.
I think you and me and like the bubble that we might be in on like Twitter and like the people that generally like we end up in conversations with about it. There are tons of people using AI, but there are very few people who are using it methodically.
Oh yeah.
Um, and that was like made very, very clear in my time
Mm.
at ValioCon. And I was like, dang. So like I gave this like presentation um on this is like a little bit of B-roll. I've automated our newsletter. Um and I put together this like AI workflow, courtesy of like principles from Aaron Francis in his
Yeah.
one video where it's like if a computer is good at the task, let the computer do it. If AI is good at it, let AI do it. Don't try to get each one to do the things the other one's good at. You're just like wasting resources. And so like that's kind of like the way I thought about it. Like I created like this like local program that runs in my command line that like it runs out to AI to transcribe a thing, but then like I process that transcription into like a good format to then send off to AI again to like take the transcript and turn it into a newsletter. But then I don't just say like give me a whole newsletter back. I say like give me these sections in this format, like this like data structure. And then I use that data structure to like output a structured newsletter.
Yeah.
And like
That's
there's
cool.
this like interplay of like very like good uses of like software and computer type work, and then there's like really good AI like inference work, that type of stuff. And it was just like, oh, nobody else is like, other people are just like showing up at an AI tool and just like typing things in,
Yeah.
like that's like the extent for a lot of people. And I was like, this is there is still a ton of, and like Alpha is just like there's a ton of like opportunity for
Mm.
people who are willing to like dive in and find ways to like make AI use more predictable and more like actually useful in people's like common people's workflows is what I would say. So thought that
That's
was
awesome.
interesting.
That's cool.
Um,
In terms of like creative conferences, like is there any other that you have on your
no,
mind?
not right now, because
I
I am on travel ban. So like
Okay.
I'm not even trying to think about conferences.
Not even next
Like
year.
I'll just miss it. Yeah, no. Well, me and Allie talked about like I definitely want to speak again next year.
Yeah.
But like we're gonna be a lot smarter about how many
How
and
many?
like, their timing, et cetera, et cetera. I
That makes sense.
definitely
I'm in the same
overcommitted.
I'm in the same boat.
Yeah. So
But there is one conference by kit.com, Craft and Commerce in
okay.
Boise,
Yeah.
Idaho. I've
That
heard
one seemed
great
interesting.
things about it.
I
Uh,
like
I,
that. I like that mix of like where it's not just a single discipline.
yep.
That was nice about it. Like it was a creative conference. It wasn't a designer. Like a majority of people were designers, but there were
Okay.
also videographers. There were brand people. There were like web design people. There was a musician who was there.
Oh, nice.
Like all
That's cool.
sorts of really interesting um, backgrounds. But yeah, like I definitely want to like do another creative conference next year. Part of me wants to do like config, like the big Figma conference, not as like a speaker. Like there's 0% chance that I would be a speaker at config, but
Yeah, yeah.
just as like that's where where everyone shows up. So it'd be nice to meet a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Or like, do I want to pick a small conference that I could speak at, and it be more like small community, that kind of thing? I don't know.
Yeah.
But what I did decide, and this is the second one, is that like I definitely want to keep doing talks, and I definitely want to do like the same. I've kind of figured out what my style is, which is like I want to have like a demo, like a thing that I have made, and I want to base my talk as that being like the foundation of the talk. That seems to go really well, where it's like the foundation was like the game that I showed earlier for
Yep.
both like, two of my conferences this year, and like the messaging around the game changed. Like I told a different story each conference, like very
Yeah.
different stories, very different outcomes, and like reasons why that game is useful, but like anchoring it in something that people can see and be like, oh dang, like this is cool. Really seemed to like help people connect more with it, because it was like, okay, he's not only saying these things, like he's showing whatever whatever like soft thing that he's talking about. He's like backing it up with like a real thing behind it, which made it seem to help things like land a little bit more, and I got better feedback from people.
That's awesome. That's cool. And it's like different feedback. It's feedback from designers and not developers.
Yep. 100%. All right.
That's awesome.
Hit me with this consistency wins. Figure everything else later. I love, man, don't you know we love some consistency?
I
love the phrase after. Figure it out later. What do you mean by this?
This could apply. So yeah, for those in the chat or listening, consistency wins. Figure everything else out later. And I think we've kind of applied this principle to, I think both of us, just this is our natural tendency to apply it. But like for this show, we've kind of applied it too. It's like, hey, we had a lot of big and great ideas in terms of like, even like the newsletter, like, oh, it's like, that's something that you just recently automated. And like, I just recently started automating, like starting with this episode of like how the podcast actually like gets published and sent out. Which surprisingly, even with very few podcast episodes, we still have a decent amount of listeners.
Oh, snap.
Which is awesome.
I have not even looked.
Yeah, I think we have like close to like 300 listens or something like that. Like pretty crazy.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
For a long form podcast.
For a very long form podcast. And like it's meant to be video. So like
I think I only have like 5 episodes up there. So like we have a good backlog of episodes that will be thrown out to people.
Throw in there whenever we want. Yeah.
Yeah, just one a day for the next week. But no, I started, and I'll kind of like put this up here.
Yep,
we'll do this one right here. So I started this Good Makers Morning podcast. September 1st.
Logo.
ChatGPT logo.
Ooh, we love
it with some tweaks from it, of course. Yeah. But the whole thing was like I had a lot of good plans for this. And you can see here like there's one from this morning. It is literally been, if I go to all episodes, there has been one for every single day. So September 7th, 8th, 9th, 12th, 13th, it's one for every single day. And there's times when like it's been at the times I intended to be, that like 9 a.m. in the morning, or the first thing that I do. There's times when it's like 5 p.m. and I forgot about it. So I make one and I publish it right then and there. But every single time in 26 weeks, like most of the time I had this idea of I was like, oh, I'm going to rebuild my website, and then I'll make it so that I'll take the transcript and make it into a blog. And then I have 26 blogs already.
Nice.
Like that. And I haven't done it.
No.
But what I was thinking, it's a good idea.
It's like, that's fantastic. I haven't done it. Oh.
What I was thinking of is that it's crazy because I kind of had a podcast like last year where and I barely talked about that one. I barely talked about this one in a lot of ways. Like this show is probably the most I talk about. I think I posted twice about it on X.
Right.
So I rarely talk about it. It's not like I published it to my YouTube channel or anything like that. The previous podcast was published to my YouTube channel, and it kind of had like a podcast audio version. And I think I had 14 episodes total before I just got busy. So this one I have 26 episodes, and I have like it's the most listened to thing of my podcast on Transistors, like 450 listens across all episodes.
Nice.
Which is it's not a lot, but it's not small either.
To be said about daily.
And I think that's
huge impact.
That's what I am learning and what I want to.
Okay. Yeah. Tying it back together. Here we go, Will.
Bam! You told the whole story
from first principles.
And so, I think the thing that has been winning for us with this show, and the thing that's like been winning for us individually, like with your game, with the cottage, with my Good Makers Morning, is like the consistency piece matters the most. Even like some of the episodes, like I listen back, I'm like, I did not articulate myself very well at all. Like I was just rambling.
Right.
But I think I've gotten better at some things. The things I'll figure out is like, kind of like what we said, like not only do I have like this journal, audio journal for the past 26 days and what my mind was thinking about, but now I have like 26 versions of like a blog or 26 blog articles in general.
That can be done
can
at any
put up.
point.
Oh yeah.
Any
I
point.
can figure it out later. Like
Yeah.
the people have blogs that are like 10 years old that are still read every single day.
Absolutely. Oh man,
So
I
yeah,
love this. I love this.
consistency matters.
And it ties back into like something we talked about in a previous episode, which was breadcrumbs. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
currently you're putting it
That's what I was
into
thinking about.
podcast thread, but like blog posts can show up at any time, you know? And like, let's say that you start using this like ChatGPT Pulse thing and it actually surfaces good insights. Like, there's a good tweet like, hey, Pulse, I've been journaling for the past 3 months and Pulse Gate has given me these good insights, blah, 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 whatever. That's a video. Like, put a video out on
Great
it.
video.
Reddit, like what, like there's so many, and like you could have just done an episode and like now you have like this whole backlog, this very easy to like review backlog of like this idea seems to have caught fire. Like I actually had this tweet and I know at some point I'm gonna tweet it. I'm gonna keep tweeting this. This is gonna be like the thing that I tweet. And then somebody's gonna eventually get it and it's gonna like catch fire. I know it. And that is fortune favors the prolific was
okay.
and I think that is very much the case when like content, I mean just in general, but like especially in distribution.
Oh yeah.
Like fortune favors people who put out a lot of reps on things. And that's like what you're doing here. The more daily episodes you do, the better you get at making daily episodes. The more content, like the more chances you get of like identifying, oh wow, like for some reason my average listenership is like 50 listens an episode, but this one has like 500. What happened? Why do people like this? Like this one clearly seemed to resonate. Like you have such a wider surface area to like identify trends and like things that actually seem to be like catching people's attention.
Yep, exactly. And the people who like stream or put out videos, or even like the people who write blogs or newsletters, most of the time, I would say they would all agree that whatever, like let's say you do it weekly, or let's say you do it monthly, let's say you do it daily, as long as you stick with that, then not only are you going to form this habit, but also like your audience then knows like, okay, hey, I know every Friday there's going to be a Riff and Refine show. I know every Friday there's going to be an Aaron Francis like a newsletter thing, like whatever that thing happens. And then like when the people
happen,
oh yeah,
like, hey, where'd it go? That happened last week.
I had last week.
My DMs and I was like, I did not expect that.
I didn't expect it either.
People to be like, and someone sent me, shout out to Emmett, friend of the pod. Let me tell, like friend of the internet, Mr. Emmett.
Friend of the internet. There you go.
Emmett,
shout out Emmett.
Sent me a DM of a picture of a DM from him. Like he had somebody hopping his DM saying like, hey, like where's Will and Josh? Like that's like and he was like, I don't know. And they're like, man, like I just have really gotten like that is like an expected part of my Friday now.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh dang, like that hit. Like I was like, man, this is actually working, you know? Like it's not huge, but like clearly some people are like,
yeah,
like getting in what you're talking about. Like it is becoming a part of their daily routine, like their weekly routine.
That's cool.
I love that.
I love that.
Awesome. All right.
See, now I just have to be consistent about time. Like right now it's been like 9 a.m. for my thing, 9 a.m., 5 p.m., 11:30 a.m. My time, which now it's like, oh, Good Maker's morning, and it's someone's like bedtime. So who knows?
We already have one thing that's very like time dependent. It is okay if that one's a little more wishy-washy.
That's true. That's true.
It's still happening. It's still happening. All right.
Give me a speed round, man.
Last thing, we're going to wrap up the show with this. I had this idea. These things have been sitting in our content backlog for the show, and I wanted to bring them up. And I was like, you know, I don't think we need to necessarily like riff on every single one of these type of things. But I just want to like kind of go through them, hit them real quick, and like we'll call it speed round. Oop.
Oh, wait.
Here we go.
There we go. And then we'll pop it back. There we go.
All right.
Speed round it.
We're going to call it speed round. I'm gonna just like go through these, talk about like why I saw them and why I thought it was interesting. And there's I think like 5 of them. So that'll be a thing. I think it'll be fun to like just do this periodically as they pile up in the backlog. All right, speed round number 1. This parallax effect. Now, parallax has been a thing for like a really long time. Like it was like an old design trend, like a long time.
Yeah. I remember
And
this.
like, it was more of like you have your foreground and it would like scroll over a static thing in the background to where it looked like things were moving. Like this is a really well done version of parallaxing. And like the idea is just that
Like Apple does parallax a lot, right?
Right. Yes. The further something is in like the depth, the more deep it is visually, the slower it moves. And the closer it is to like the front of the screen, the faster it moves. And it gives this like this appearance of depth in the design, which is like there is no depth here. Like these are just stacked images that are on the exact same, like it's a flat screen. But when you look at it, you're like, you feel pulled into like this world, and it's for like a video game. So that makes a lot of sense. Really liked that. All right. Number 2. I love tiny details like this. All right. I don't know if y'all can see this as well. We're going to screen this just so y'all can.
All right. There you go.
Pay attention to the gray box, the hover state. Do you see how it enters and exits based on like where the mouse comes into it?
Yeah.
Like that is such a tiny design detail, but it is like that's the kind of stuff I love to see.
The neat part is like it's I know this is speed round, but the neat part is like your users aren't going to care and they're not going to worry. But I think that's one of those aspects where it's like, okay, even if they don't notice or even care, it matters because it adds to like this feel aspect. There's so much things that we do that like as long as you're intentional about it. Like I purposely chose it to do that.
Yep. Don't let don't have any decision in your product be accidental. That's the key for sure.
Unless it's a good one. Good accents.
These are ASCII art spinners. So like the idea is that like you don't have to custom create a loading spinner.
Okay.
Because like there's so many interesting ways to do loading spinners with ASCII art, and there's a repo for it. It's called CLI Spinners, and I used let's see. I'm gonna do this just so I can show you the one. There's this one that was like ping pong. Let's scroll. Yeah, here we go. Nope, that's not it. Further down. Further up. Where are you at, ping pong? There you are. Pong. This one.
Ooh.
I was like, oh, this is really cool. And this fits the vibe of like Soundfall. So there is a loading state that I hope people don't run into, but they might, where it's like loading the assets for the game. And if it's in a loading sprite state, then it does this little ping pong game back and forth. Where
That's
it's like,
cool.
Man, there's so many cool things that like these are just ASCII characters.
Yeah.
Done in like a really neat way. So I just
thought
that was super, super cool little detail there.
Fits your vibe too.
100%. Definitely does. All right. This one. All right. So one thing that is like a really neat thing to use is like 3D. There's this tool called Spline. Y'all should check it out. It's called Spline 3D or just Spline. But it's basically like without having to get into like Blender or CAD modeling, you can make like depth modeling, like 3D models that have depth. And that's like, if you think about this design right here, all this is literally just like some cylinders with rounded ends pointed in different directions. Not that hard to do, but it's something that most people won't take the effort to make, and adds like a real change to like how something looks because they like did a custom like 3D model and not something that was like off the shelf. And then the effect that's happening over this is a shader. And like one really cool tool for that is unicorn.studio. I think I've shown this one before. But Unicorn
I also
Studio,
just found out that you can export Spline to 3D printable documents.
Oh, okay. I'm definitely checking.
It's a paid feature, but I just saw that.
But like this is like a GUI tool for being able to mess around with shader effects.
Ooh.
Very fun, very cool. like super awesome, especially to do like very basic shader things like this based on like a 3D model.
Here's a teaser hint about Unicorn. A part of the new Forge marketing page is going to have a unicorn design.
Ooh, I can't wait to see that. All right.
Not a design about a unicorn, but a design from the unicorn.
From unicorn.studio.
Yeah.
Yes. Perfect. Okay, so this is the last one, and it's just like another 3D thing with Spline Tool that I had caught. Where the thing that I like want to like share about this is like, this is easy. It's not like, this is not complex. Like, it's literally a flat rectangle in a 3D space that rotates around that has this little bar that just moves up and down.
Ooh.
And like, that's it. Like, there's so many like little moments in a product in design where, because it's the web, 3D is a new space that has not been super explored yet. And like, there is, if you think about iconography and like empty states and all this kind of stuff, like there's so much space for like, you don't have to have a complex 3D model. You just have to have like an idea. And because it's 3D and has this depth to it, this lighting, natural lighting to it, it can really add a lot to a design, just because there are not a ton of people who are like leveraging this or going to the trouble of learning a tool to add something new. Like, they're trying to do things in tools that like they're very familiar with. So yeah, that's speed round.
I love it.
And I love it. That's all I got today.
That's all I got. That's all. I think, I think that's pretty much all I got for this round. We can do what you doing this week.
This week, I don't even know what I'm doing this week. I'm probably going heads down with like work stuff. I'm definitely going to start. I'm going to send my first update to the newsletter for the course.
Sweet.
I already have one that I'm starting to write out. I think it's going to, like, my rough draft title is like audience versus intention. But the other, like, I'm going to probably name it something more, not clickbaity, but something more accurate, which is just like, y'all are already causing me problems. Something like that. Because I also want to like make a post about it, which is just like, hey, about to send my first update to people who've signed up to like the early, like the newsletter or whatever, about insert title here that will hopefully make people want to go and like subscribe more to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna write that up and send it out, where there's this dichotomy between like who I'm noticing who are signing up and like what my intention for the course is. That I want to just like, and I think that's like kind of what I want to do to approach this in a way that makes it like interesting for everyone, and also just like keeps me motivated to keep going, which is just like, I don't want this to be a case of I went away to my cave and came out with this like finished thing.
Yeah.
I want it to be like, if you buy it,
breathable.
By the time you buy this, if you've been on the email list, you've already seen all the content and heard everything you're going to learn in what I'm sharing. But you're getting it because hopefully what you have gotten to follow along with provided enough value that you either want to pay it, even though you've already learned it all, or like you want to, like, there might be just like more details than what I was able to provide, that kind of thing, where it's just like, I want to have it be like very transparent and like work in public on this thing if I end up doing it.
Yeah, I love it.
But probably a lot of heads down on work, because this last week has been very like kind of burnout feeling, where it's like, okay, I just want to ship some like things that aren't like very work focused. We're in like a lull before getting into the next round of pushing for this week was like our big release, our first version of our product at Snowflake. And so like we kind of had like downtime before jumping into like, all right, get ready for the next release. So that'll probably kick up next week a little bit. How about you?
There you go. Yeah, I think I'm kind of heads down on work stuff. We're kind of like finalizing. So the new Laravel Forge update gets launched
October
next
1,
week.
I think I saw.
Yeah. And so kind of heads down the beginning of the week to kind of like make sure everything's good. The end of the week, I'll also like be helping out some stuff. So I'm mostly like work stuff and then like personal, I guess I have a personal creator thing than a personal outside thing. Like personal creator thing, I'm wanting to starting not next week, but the week after. So I'm gonna like be prepping it next week.
Mm-hmm.
Is both for work videos as well as personal videos. I want to stream the process of making them. And so I'm gonna set up like next week, kind of like
yeah.
tease it. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm gonna just have a set time, 3 hours, that I am just live, and nothing's changes. Like with, I'll probably interact with chat, but I want to, like just show like, hey, this is how I make a video.
Interesting.
I mess up everything, and I
can't wait. I can't wait to like do a retro on how you think it went and how you feel about it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna like in my downtime next week, I'm gonna like set it up, make sure I got everything like in a good spot for it, and like do some test runs, and then I'll schedule it on probably like Thursday of next week, Thursday, Friday. I'll be like, okay, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, this time I'm live making a video. Like you can join, or you can just be a fly on the wall kind of thing. So that's one thing. And then I'm getting, maybe now with the streaming thing, maybe that's my maybe that I'm trying that out on the nights and weekends and stuff. But I am finally learning, and maybe they'll explain now. Maybe that's the thing. I'm finally learning how to build my own 3D models to be printed.
Yay! Yes,
because I have all the pieces I need for my keytar. I have them already.
Oh, you do? Heck yeah, dude!
Everything's set. Everything works.
Right. And now you just need to have an enclosure.
I just need to have an enclosure that I can hold. Yeah. So I just need to print it. And so like, I've been researching with AI of like how to print things that I'm not screwing or gluing together. It's like a splice, like an interlocking splice thing.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be.
So we'll see if it works,
dude.
So now I have to just figure out how to actually make it and like
I want to
measure it.
Week I want to dig into like how you used AI to like, this is like the kind of stuff I love with AI, which is like how did you go about digging into like a new domain that you're not familiar with, and like what were the aha moments, what were like the dead ends that like didn't work out. We should
AI with this keytar thing, not even just like 3D printing it, but like every aspect besides that was super helpful as a bouncing ground. It's great.
Can't wait to hear about it. We'll do it next week. This is
fun stuff.
Show.
This is it.
It was a big episode. This is the longest episode yet. We had so much to catch up on.
I know. I love it though.
Having y'all here. Love the new.
Brand new.
I love this new vibe. We're entering a new era of.
We're in it.
Next thing you know, there's going to be actual sponsors.
Yeah. Next thing you know, next week we'll have to do like your name here.
Your name here. Yeah, we'll have to try to do like the scrolling video thing and see if we can make it work before we have actual.
Figure it out.
Cool. All right.
Sweet.
See you, everybody.
Happy Friday.